Good morning, my name is Tanis. I'm a maker who lives near the south coast of the UK, down sort of quite near Portsmouth, if you know that kind of area. I am a general everything crafter. I love knitting. I dabble in a little bit of crochet, not very much. Embroidery and bag making. I have an Etsy shop where I sell 1940s, mainly 1940s style snoods and gin poodles, because that's the name of the shop. So let's crack on. I have actually finished some things. Well, I finished two things. I've sort of finished one thing, I have finished another thing, and I've done a little update on a couple of snoods. So it's a bit of a grey and miserable day here. It's, well, not miserable, but it is a little bit grey, so excuse me if the lighting is a bit not so great. Now, I know that last time I said that it was episode 5 and I was pretty sure about it, and I was pretty wrong. This is episode 5. So let's crack on. I'm going to pick up a little pencil because I've got a little notebook down here where I've made notes in a notebook. Go me. Always at the forefront of thinking. So for my Etsy shop, I won't go on bang on an awful lot about my Etsy shop. I've got 3 project bags to show you, and 2 snoods, and that is it. So I've done a little restock. This is a lovely sort of I think it's just called dark green in the shop, but it's this lovely sort of foresty green. It's really pretty, and it's really versatile, because look, when you put it back, I'm wearing a black top, which obviously you can tell black, that's a black top. It's dark enough that you can wear it with really dark colours, but because it's green, green's so versatile, isn't it? You can wear it with much lighter things. You can use it like to sort of tone things down a bit. So I think I've only got the large one in stock right now, right this second. The medium one's pretty much done, and I'll do a small, and then that's that for those. Well, obviously, if I set out of one, if you want one and I set out of one, oh god, can you see that weird thing? I've got a ring light on because it's dreary, miserable day, and now it looks like my eyes have got this weird sort of halo about them. We'll live with it. I'll look a bit like an alien. It will be fine. This one is the other snood colour I'm going to show you today. That's lovely sort of burnt orange, darker orange. There you go. That's more of a truer colour. When it's back here, this one's cotton, so they're a little bit more expensive. This is mercerised cotton, so it's not shiny or sparkly, but it does have more of a sheen to it, so quite a good evening wear option. I'm pretty in love with that colour, although I don't think it really suits me. Well, actually no, it doesn't look too bad. It's not too bad, is it? If you put it on my head like a pancake. That's not how you wear them. I don't know, I might make one of those for myself. So that's snoodage out of the way, done. So I think the next thing to show is I finished my kite shawl. I'm really happy with it. I went a bit off piste with the design. I just threw the pattern away in the end, because it's a kite shawl. It's not that hard, is it? So it's stripes of Sirdar Shawlie. I started it in a workshop at the fantastic Seeded Buttons in Southsea, which is just down the road from Portsmouth. It's the better version of Portsmouth. The only thing I'm not happy about is I just carried on. I'd run out of the blue for striping, so I've used the blue is, I think, Hydrangea, and the yellow's Chrysanthemum. It may be the other way around. No, blue would have to be Hydrangea, wouldn't it? Hydrangea would have to be pink or blue. So yeah, the blue's a Hydrangea and the yellow's Chrysanthemum, and it's 2 full balls of Sirdar Shawlie, and it's just really easy stripes and some yarn overs, and it's just a glorious thing. Blocked it on the washing line, wet blocked it on the washing line. I'm not sure I should have done this at the end where I just carried on with the yellow on its own, but then, you know, a shawl, it's especially these sort of more scarfy type shawls, you show what you want to show, don't you? You don't have to show really that in bit at all. But I do really like it, and I like those colours because I chose, I think I said before, I chose these colours because it makes me think of the seaside. So obviously the blue for the sun, for the sea and the sky, and the yellow for the sand and the sunlight. And it's just like where it fades in and out of the strength of colour, it's a bit like the changes in the day, like with the tide coming in and out, and you know the daybreak, and you know bright midday, and then look like that's like wet sand. It's just really lovely, so I'm really pleased with that. I'd probably make another one, I probably would, but there are lots of just really good free basic kite shaped shawl patterns. But if you want a really good one, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Louise Tilbrook does one. She does one with, and I don't think I've got it here. No. Oh, that's annoying. She does a really nice one with quite wide band of stripes, and she does it in two sizes, so she does a smaller one or a bigger one. But I mean, really, with a kite shaped shawl, that's a difficult thing, so you've got a bit of a lisp. You can just go on until you run out of yarn and you've only got enough to bind off. So mine, that's basically what I did, and then my bind off edge was a bit skew whiff, so you probably can't see that, but I just did a simple crochet, just literally a single crochet edge, which just went back over my cast off edge. I did a single crochet in every stitch, and that's neatened it up beautifully. And it might be something that I do again with shawls, because I'll show you the shawl that I've just finished that's not blocked, and one of the edges is a bit wibbly wobbly, so I'm trying to decide what to do with that because I've actually run out of the yarn. I'm getting ahead of myself. This though I'm really happy with. I'll definitely use that yarn again. Like I say, Sirdar Shawlie. My cat's about, she's just about to jump up. No, okay, if you can hear that little ting 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 sound, that's my cat wanting attention. And this is her favourite route. One of her favourite routes is, there's a window ledge. There she goes. You might have just seen a tiny little bit of her little fluffy bum. Pretty cat. And don't knock over my ring light, Lou. Yes, good girl. So yeah, so that's it for finished knitting. I have got, like I say, some project bags. Now this is the new one, and oh, it looks very bright. I think it's the sun. There you go. Oh, focus properly on the colours. So I haven't put the drawstring in at the top yet, but this is a nice sort of like custard yellow, and that's a very sort of bright yellow. So that'll be in 3 sizes. It's got a little grab handle, little canvas grab handle, in a sort of taupey colour. It's got a little label on the side. It's got pockets inside. Sorry, there's a half made bag inside there. There's this middle one. It's got pockets inside. I only put the pockets on one side because I find too many pockets really get on my wick. So they're big enough. Oh, they're sort of sectioned off. One side has got 2 slightly smaller pockets, and you can put pens and needles and whatever you want in there. And then this bigger side you can sort of squish off a pattern and shove that in there, or like your scissors and things. Nice and roomy, and these ones will be in my Etsy shop soon. I don't have a drawstring colour that I like to go with these. White would work, but I find it a little bit boring. If I can find a yellow, a really nice strong yellow, I'll use that. But as soon as I've got that, they can be photographed and listed. These two, I'm just going to show them for colour because they're already listed in my Etsy shop, waiting for new homes. This one is my picnic bag version. It's a very sort of one's, you know, sort of suits everyone kind of thing. It's not too mad, it's quite nice and neutral, quite sort of guy friendly. Oh, that's my little cat, can you see it? Look, there's a little tail. Oh, feet up, possibly not. There, she patrols, and it's getting near to her lunchtime. This one, although I have given her some food and water and stuff just before I came up. Do this. She's been asleep for hours, so now I think really she wants to play ping pong ball with me. That's not a good time. This one's called Colourful Cats. I think this is a medium. Yeah, that's the medium one. As you can see, it is exactly what it says. Really colourful cat pattern with bright, bright pink accent. Grab handle. And the base, a bright, bright pink, and the drawstring is this nice bright blue. See what I mean? I quite like the coloured drawstrings. I think they're nicer, and I fluffed up the end on this one. This one, oh, it fluffs up really well, so you get like almost like a tassel on the end. So that's that for shop things. Promise. So, works in progress. I'm trying. I've just got to have a sip of my tea. Say hello to Wiggy. Now, I'm trying to clear some whips this year. I'm not someone who's too bothered about having loads of whips. I do have loads of whips. I think the last count I had about 27. I like casting things on. If I've got an empty project bag, I will fill it. But I discovered the joy of finishing things. Late, I know. I finished some things around Christmas time, and it was such a good feeling. I thought, you know, I'm gonna have a year of finishing things. So I'm also going to cast on lots of things as well, but I'm going to try and finish off a lot of the whips I've had that have been hanging around for sometimes for years, because I just tend to just do work for a week, like just a few hours here and there on a project, and then I'll pick up another one and just do a few rows on it maybe. And I love them all, but I like them all for different reasons, and I only really work on what I feel like doing, which is fantastic, but it means nothing ever gets finished. So this year I'm not doing that. Well, I am, I'm such a liar. I am still doing that, but I'm having one main project that I just stick at, and then I might have like something on the side that I kind of, for fun, for a little funsy thing. But I have the thing that I'm gonna finish. So my kite shawl, that was my last behave project, and this is my next behave project. Now this has been on the needles for years. I'll tell you how long this has been on the needles. If you are or have been a Londoner, this was a great London yarn crawl bag, and I bought this yarn on one of the yarn crawls probably in 2016 or something like that, which feels about right. And in fact, they don't even do these yarn crawls anymore, which is a very sad thing. They were really good, mainly because one of the organisers emigrated and the other one has a different job, so, and she travels a lot, so they really can't do them. But I wish someone else had picked up the baton, because they were so good. You went, literally, they had all these different routes, and you'd have like 7 groups of people travelling from one yarn shop to another all over London, and you chose which route you wanted to do, because there were so many yarn shops and haberdashery shops that you could choose the route that had the shops that you really wanted to go to on. Anyway, on one of those we went to Stag and Bow, which is Forest Hill, Sydenham kind of way. It's I call it Forest Hill because it's just up the road from the station, which is called Forest Hill, but I think maybe Sydenham's a little bit fancier, so maybe they would prefer to be called Sydenham. Don't know. I'm saying Forest Hill, where I bought the yarn and the pattern to make this. It's the hardware jumper by Erika Knight, and the fantastic thing was, she was there. She was doing like a pop-up in Stag and Bow for the yarn crawl. And this is actually designed to be knit in cotton yarn. I don't like cotton yarn. I don't like the way it feels. It feels all to me. I know it isn't, but that's how it feels to me. So I don't like it, and I'm not knitting with it. So she helped me sort out the yarn sub, which was her own, what's this yarn called? I keep nearly calling it Wild Wool, and it's really not. That's it, British Blue. Oh, look at that colour. It's so nice. And it's absolutely lovely yarn. It's DK, it's all plump and gorgeous. And I think I got about 7 skeins of this. So I'm on, it's knit in pieces, which I know some people don't like, but actually I much prefer. I think, for me personally, I think you get a much better fit with a piece jumper than one knitting around. They always look a bit too tubular to me. It's a V-neck, obviously, as you saw the pattern with these brilliant. Honestly, she said to me, once you start doing planned ladders, you'll want to put them in everything, and I really do. They're just, oh god, it's so much fun to do. So that's the front, which I've nearly finished. I'm just doing the shoulder, the final shoulder decreases. And there's the back. All done. I think I'm doing, oh, look, it's all creased because it's been scratched up in my bag for years. I've just got that little bit on the shoulder to do, and then both the sleeves, obs, and then it will be done. And because it's DK, that's going to knit up in no time at all, like literally no time at all. Lou's just jumped up again if you're hearing the timbers. So yeah, finishing that front was really quick. This is a project that I was kind of hoping to wear to unravel weekend after next. Don't think I will be. I'm not that fast a knitter. To get 2 sleeves done in, it's not next, mind you, it's not next week. I've got 2 weeks, so it's only like 1 sleeve a week to do. But I kind of don't really want to put myself under too much pressure to do it, because then I'll just muck it up. I'll end up doing what I did last night and knitting late at night when I'm a bit tired, and I mucked up a little bit of shaping on one of the planned ladders, which is absolutely fine. You can't see that I mucked it up, but I'd done a knit 2 together in completely the wrong place, so then I'd had to drop down stitches and make 2 columns of stitches, you know, like picking them up with a crochet hook all the way up. And one of them, where it was a knit 2 together, there wasn't really a lot of space. I've got a slightly pinched bit there, but that will block out and it'll be absolutely splendid, and no one will, and it's right, and where I did it is right over here, so you're not really going to see it, are you, once it's worn. Even if it stays a little bit pinched looking, it's like a line of about, it's about 10 rows, so no one's ever going to really spot that apart from me, and it'll be absolutely fine. And it doesn't, the ladder bit, I fixed that too, and that doesn't show either. There's a little bit right at the top of the ladder where I've had to drop 2 stitches instead of 1, where the very top of the ladder looks a teensy bit baggy, so I might just go and duplicate stitch that afterwards. I won't duplicate stitch it with a pencil, but that's gonna be fine. Yeah, I would like to wear that to unravel, but then I'd also be very happy to wear this maker hoodie from I bought it from Stitch Tees at Unravel a couple of years ago. I don't think they were there last year. I'm hoping they're there this year. I know Malika Wire earrings, that's what I'm wearing now, I know she's going to be there, and she's got these new earrings I saw on Instagram. She put them up yesterday, I think, called Raindrop, and they are literally like a teardrop shape with the wire work on the outside and then 3 crystals on the inside, and they are absolutely gorgeous. And if I'm not wearing a pair of those by lunchtime on Friday, something has gone very wrong with the world. If you're coming to disrupt things, Lou, oh please don't. Oh, that's it, good girl. So if you're coming to Unravel, would you leave me a little comment to let me know what day you're going and what you're looking out for? I'm tempted to buy another sweater quantity of yarn to make another one of those hardware jumpers, because partner Andy, when I was working on that the other day and I was just showing him what I was doing, and he was really like, oh, that's really nice. Oh, Lou's sitting right next to my tablet. Oh, we're in a lot of trouble. Good girl. Any minute now this could all come crashing down. The tension. So yeah, he quite liked it, so I was kind of thinking of making him one, but then I remember the beautiful alpaca jumper I made him a few years ago, which I think he must have worn 3 times. He swears he loves it, never wears it. So he's probably not going to get one of those, but I'm going to buy, I think I'm going to buy a sweater quantity of yarn to make another one of those, probably again in more of a darker colour. I tend to wear darker colours on the top half because I'm quite busty, and I think it diminishes that a bit. It doesn't from the side view. Side view there's no really hiding it, but from front on I feel like I feel better in darker colours on the top. I do really like bright colours, but I tend to keep those for shawls and accessories and things. So my other whip is very, very nearly a finished object. Next time I show you this, it will be done. Oh, I just pulled this out of the bag and I felt something come out. I don't know what it was. Oh well. It's probably a stitch marker has gone rogue somewhere. This will be my Tiny Tassels shawl, which is another thing. Oh, it's so lovely. This is really what I take to knit group, because it's so easy. I can't really get the colour on it. It's just like the best mint green in the world. Do you see my wibbly wobbly edge? That's what I was talking about. I might crochet over that, but it'd have to be with a different colour, because I've used it all up. Look, this is how much yarn I've got left. That's it. And I just need to weave in a little end from a cast on. So yeah, this is the famous Tiny Tassels shawl. Obviously mine doesn't have any tassels yet. This is a free pattern from Loop, London, and also the original designer Karen, I've forgotten her surname, but she owns Beautiful Knitters in Pimlico, which is one of the nicest knitting shops you'll ever go to. She has a version on her website too. She sort of updated it. I think whereas this one you knit sort of top down, I think her updated version you knit from the side. So I might try that as well. I haven't really decided what colour I'm going to put as my Tiny Tassels. I've got a really bright emerald green that's from Giddy Yarns, and it's a proper emerald green. It's really lovely and it's got sparkle in it. So I'm thinking that, but I've also got, I'm just going to quickly grab this jar. Ooh. Can you see right in the bottom here, there's this yarn. Oh, the light. And you see it's got all different colours and it's really pretty. And it's this yarn from this shawl here. Do you see? It's got all these pretty pastel different colours in it, and I think that would be really good for a tiny little tassels. They go quite well with this. They go really well with this. But do I actually really want more of a contrast? Probably do want a bigger contrast. So I'm thinking that that emerald green would be really nice. But do I want all my tassels the same colour? I don't know. And I went to I did the D-Stash seeded the shop in South Sea. She organises these D-Stash events where you can book a table, and it's in this really lovely sort of gorgeous old chapel down by Gunwolf Quays, which is a shopping outlet. And you book a table and you just rock up and you sell all your unwanted bits and bobs. It was amazing. I sold about 70% of my stuff. I brought home very little. And I think what I did bring home was could just as easily have sold. I'd say probably most of the sales happen in the first hour, hour and a half. But I had a steady stream of purchases all day. The people I was sitting with were lovely. Tables on either side, because when I turned up I didn't really know anyone, and Alexis, that's the owner of Seeded, she's so nice. She said, oh, go out. She was like, well, you know, help yourself, whichever table you fancy. So I was a bit like, oh no, choices. And she said, those two women there are really nice. So I just went over and sat near these two women, and they were absolutely lovely all day. And then on the other side of me was the Crafty Songbird, and she was really lovely as well. And she had on the most amazing dungarees. Check out her Instagram. She's literally called the Crafty Songbird. She had these amazing dungarees on that she'd made herself, and I didn't realise until afterwards when I followed her on Instagram that she'd made them. Otherwise I would have told her how fantastic they were. I should have thought. Anyway, the woman on this side of me had this little pack of pom-poms and beads, and they were 50p, and I thought, oh, they might work really well, so I might intersperse some of these with them. Or I was also kind of thinking about putting them on my, that doesn't work at all, does it? My twists and turns, but that doesn't really work. But they would look really nice on here, so I might put those in as well as some bright green sparkly tassels, and I think that could work. I just need to think about it, because I think I've only got one, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, I've only got 10 pom-poms, and I've got 10 of these sort of rose gold beads, which I'm not sure that I would use. Oh, mind you though, I might use those as like a, I might put the, like that, the pom-pom hanging from a bead. That might look nice. Anyway, I made a Mild Mania wrap. I might have shown you that before. The huge version, the huge, gigantic, out of control version, and making the little tiny tassels the way that you're supposed to make them got on my wick very quickly indeed, and it ended up taking me much longer to finish than it should have, because I just couldn't be bothered with it. And I wasn't really happy with how they turned out. I think I'm going to steam them to make them fluff up a bit more, because I've learnt that recently from the beauty of Instagram, that if you make pom-poms you can steam them in like a colander or something over your kettle, and it just gives them that little like woof of like just plump gorgeousness. So one of the things I tried to sell at the D-Stash, a couple of people dithered over but no one actually bought, was a multi-pom. Now, if you've ever been to Ali Pali, the knitting and stitching show, you would have seen these guys. They've got this little widget which you just wrap yarn around, and you can make loads of pom-poms in one go. And this is it. It's really simple. I'm going to use it as a tassel maker though, because you can just do like where all these indents are, you just wrap up down there, and then you can just tie off snip. We'll tie them all off along the length you want them to be, and then you can just, oh no, I can't do tassels that way, can I? No, because I wouldn't have the loop at the top. Oh god, I'm such a dipstick. Or maybe I'll just do pom-poms then. It doesn't have to be tassels, it's called tiny tassels, but there's nothing to stop me from doing pom-poms, is there? For goodness sake, then I was going to come and check. Deduct points. Yeah, so I'm going to do pom-poms. I'm going to do tiny pom-poms, and I'm going to use this fella to do it. And I'm going to do them in emerald green, and I'm going to have some of those little funny looking things in there as well, and then that's going to be marvellous. So I think the thing to do is you block this shawl first. So it's a decent size already, and it says not to aggressively block it so that you don't ruin the garter squish, but I'm going to give it a bit of a, not aggressive, but I'm going to give it a sort of firm talking to, make it grow up a little bit longer. Don't really need it to be any deeper, but I would like to stretch it out a bit more. So I might do that this afternoon, but like I say, it's a bit of a grey old day, so I'm not sure I'll be able to dry it, but we can have a go. And tomorrow's another day. We've had a bit of drizzle here this morning. Not that I've been out, I've not left the house more than to go to the post box at the end of the road for 4 days. I don't care, I like it. I keep meaning to go into town. I've got a couple of things I've got to buy. I broke my cat's backup bowl. One of her food bowls is white and the other one's pink, and they're really pretty, and I clonked one of them against something, against a saucepan, when I was washing it up last night and chipped it. So that's gone for Burton. So I need to replace that. But I mean, it's not desperate. It's like her second bowl. She won't mind. She hasn't said anything so far. Right then. Oh, so the thing with the tiny tassels, I'm also a little bit worried about if I do a crochet edge along the top, I'm a bit worried that I might end up making that top a bit hard, and I don't know that outer edge will ever really be seen. You know, the long top bit that you wrap around your neck. I don't think you ever really see that. So I might just block it, see how it turns out. See if I can do a little bit of stitching along there, because there's some bits that I think are a little bit wibbly wobbly thus. Might see if I can do something with sewing to sort that out. You never know, you never know. It might be perfect. I think, oh, half an hour. I thought I was like blah, 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 racing along. Maybe I am. So this is my temperature shawl scarf. It's not really a shawl, it's a scarf. I was going to do a temperature blanket, but I don't have the time. They're huge. Blankets are massive, and I thought to do 2 colours a day on a blanket is really pushing my luck. I've got other stuff to do, but a scarf I can manage. What I love, see this bit here that looks yellow? That's not yellow, that's cream. That's the same cream here. It's just where it's between the green, it's made it look really yellow. So this is based on, you know, the Zick Zack scarf. This is mine. So it's basically, it's just that. But in temperature. So this is January up to this, oh, I've got it the wrong way around. That doesn't help, does it? This red marker is the start of February. So where the lightest colours are is where it's coldest. So January started off not too bad, a little bit nippy, and then the green is your sort of, I think it's about 10 and above, and the grey for sort of grey days like this, and then the icy blue is cold, that's under 5 degrees, and the cream is 0 or below. So we started off not doing too bad in January, temperature wise. Well, I mean, it is bad, isn't it, because it should all be like this, but we had a slightly bit of a warm start to January. Then we got colder, nice cold snap, and then pretty much the start of February, somewhere in here, you should be able to see, there it is, when it's a significant day, like a birthday. Oh, you really can't see it. I put in some sparkle, so there's some silver sparkle and some pearly sparkle here for Auntie's birthday. But yeah, here's February. Now February, interestingly, starting off pretty similar to, gosh, that's gone very bright. Yeah, February started off pretty similar to the way that January started. Look at that. There's January, start of January, and there's the start of February. But I love how that cream looks. I promise you that is the same cream. That looks yellow. It's exactly the same colour here as here. And then put it back, yellow. Bring it forward, cream. See, I'm really happy with that. I mean, that's going to be long. I mean, if that's 1 month, then we're getting into Doctor Who scarf territory. But I don't mind. I'm trying to sort of weave in my ends as I go, so I'm not too bad with the fuzzy sides. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I've shown you these before. These are Adriafil colours. Oh, look, from my yarnery down in Havant. She's only a couple of miles away. Look at that. These are my colder colours. here. This is starting in, you know, more sort of springtime, and these are my summer, and these are my, oh my god, get me out of here. Let's hope, I'm hoping we don't use those. But yeah, really happy with that. I'm quite enjoying it. I haven't done today's yet, but I think today's probably quite likely to be another green and grey day. Because I don't think the temperature got down really very much overnight, and it's not gone up massively today either. So I'm really happy with that, and I'm going to stick to that for the rest of the year. I'm supposed to tell you what cup of tea I'm drinking, aren't I? It's Yorkshire tea, the toast and jam one, which is really nice. It's not as nice as the biscuit one, but that's what I'm drinking. It's a bit cold now though. So, I have got a couple of books that I've finished. I've got a book that I'm reading, audio book. I finished this, The Way of All Flesh by Samuel Butler. I thought this was going to be as dry as anything. It's actually really funny. It's quite sad as well, because poor old Ernest, he has a bit of a life of it. But it's a really good book. It's a really sort of, it's a bit of a, you know, sort of turn of the century satire. Well, turn of the last century, on sort of morals and society, and it's good. If you like Charles Dickens, you'll like this. It's not as weighty as Charles Dickens. It's fairly thin. Only about 400 pages. I really enjoyed that. I would definitely read more of his. I really thought that was going to be quite a turgid read, but it was really good fun. I'm a member of the Digital Readers Club. It's my local library's book club that you can do from home, and every month, you know, we get a selection of books to choose, and then we go with, you know, whatever gets most votes, and we read that. And the last 2 or 3 have really not been my cup of tea at all, and this month's isn't either. It's Where the Missing Gather by Helen Sedgwick. It's a murder mystery set in a little village. It's the second in a series, no one realised that, so it refers back a lot to the first book, so I don't really feel like I know what's going on. You can kind of get it, but I'm struggling to care. I don't mind the characters, but I haven't really got time to listen to the first book as well as this one, because it's like 14 hours of you know, listening, and I just listen to it while I'm making dinner or walking to and from work, so I don't get a lot of time to put into it. And there's podcasts I listen to as well. I listen to The Archers and Older and Wider, the Jenny Clare podcast with Judith. I want to say Judith Miller, but that's someone completely different, which is really funny, and I love that. So I don't, and also because I'm not really enjoying it, I'm not wanting to put a lot of time into it. So I was kind of questioning myself earlier and thinking, like, should I stick with this book group or not? I don't really. We have like a Zoom catch up once a month, and it's a variety of characters, you know, and there's always one. There's one that wants to bang on about a boring job quite a lot, but I bring my knitting, so I kind of concentrate on that when she's boring on. But then I was thinking, it does make you read books that you wouldn't have read otherwise, and just because we've hit a bit of a dry patch for me doesn't mean you should throw the whole thing over. But yeah, not doing so great with that. I can't say I'd read another one of hers. Well, maybe I would if I'd read the first one, because it's not bad. It's not badly paced. There's plenty going on. Just not really for me. And also I find sometimes with audiobooks, when there are a lot of characters, and there are quite a lot of characters in that Where the Missing Gather, I find it quite hard to keep track of all the characters, and there's lots of them, more so than if you read the actual book. So it's a digital readers book club, so you can either listen to the audiobook or read the ebook, and I suspect the people that have read the ebook will probably have gotten better with it. So my real book is Nicci French's Losing You. I love Nicci French. I don't think you can go wrong with them. It's a little charity shop buy. This one, I went through a phase years ago of just reading them one after another, and then I got a bit sick of it, so I had to stop. But I'm really enjoying this. This is about a woman who's moved to quite a remote location. It's like kind of like a little islet kind of thing, out sort of East Anglia way, I think. Anyway, they've moved out. She'd moved out there with her husband, and he was going to start a restaurant, and for various reasons it didn't work, and they ended up splitting up, and he's gone back to wherever he lives, and she's there with the two kids. One's 15, the other's 11, and she's met someone else now, and they're going off to Florida for Christmas, except they're not, because the eldest daughter has been for a sleepover at a friend's house, and the friend isn't really a friend. She's someone who used to bully the daughter, but is now kind of her friend, and she hasn't come home. But she did leave the sleepover in the morning. She did do her paper round. She just hasn't come home. So it's just at the point, I've just got to the point, I'm like 100 pages in, where they've really realised that she has either run away or someone's convinced her to go away with them, because there are a couple of little bits, I mean, like her wash bag's missing and stuff, but it's really good, because we're just at the point of getting beyond worried and into really frightened. So I'm nearly halfway through already. It's only like about 350 pages. I'm on 130 odd, because my cat sat on my lap this morning, so I got a massive long sit down to read, and is at work. So I'm really enjoying that, and I'm really hard. Oh, I think I've kind of not done spoilers, but like I've already said more than I should, because I really like it. So like I've said, I did the de-stash recently. I'm pretty much winding up now. Just going to tell you a couple of things that happened. I did frog one thing. I was making this vintage, a v-neck jumper from a vintage pattern that had like almost like just a very slight dolman sleeve effect to it. It was really lovely, but I ran out of yarn on the sleeves, and I could see that I wasn't going to have anywhere near enough yarn to finish it. And I just sort of fell out of love with it, so I frogged it. I frogged the whole thing. Now this is the second jumper I've started to make with that yarn and frogged it. I started to make the v-neck boxy, the Hohi Locatelli v-neck boxy, with that same yarn and frogged it. And I just feel now that that yarn's cursed. I nearly took it with me to the de-stash, but it's indie dyed yarn, and it was quite expensive, and it's actually lovely yarn, but everything I tried to make with it I ended up frogging, so I don't really know what to do, because I've got quite a lot of it. I mean, I could probably make about 500 shawls with it. I could make 6, but I don't really know what to do with that. What do you do with a sweater? Well, not quite sweater quantity of 4-ply yarn. I could save it for the next Stephen West End cow. They're usually about 5 skeins, aren't they? Don't know. I think that's just going to go back into stash. Or if it doesn't go into stash, then it's going to go to the next de-stash. Because I've booked a table for, there's one in June that I can't make. There's a seeded de-stash, you know, where you go and sell all your old tut. It's not old tut, but you know, just bits. Like I bought like a punch needle kit, never used it. I've got felting kits, never used them, and I've had them for years, and I'm just storing them here. Why? Let someone else enjoy them. I mean, I didn't like sell anything for a huge profit, you know, I didn't like make a profit as such. I sold everything at pretty much knocked down prices. I was selling some like acrylic yarn that I'd had knocking around for years, I'm not going to use, for like 20p a ball, and some stuff that was a bit better for like £1 a ball. But even I had some Triskelion yarn from where I'd been in their yarn club, and there was 2 colours that came that I just wasn't interested in at all, didn't really like, so I sold those really cheaply. I sold those like £5 a skein. But I'm going to do it again. There's one in October, and what sold really well for me really quickly were craft books, which I was really surprised about. I thought I'd be lugging those home again, but no. So I'm going to have a good craft book clear out, take more books with me next time. But like I say, that's not until October. But if you're down this way and you see one coming up, there's one in somewhere called Wickham, no idea where that is, somewhere fairly near apparently. I've only lived down here for 2.5 years, so I don't really know the area brilliantly well, and I don't drive, so I mean I could drive if I chose to. I've got a licence and everything, don't want to. Don't really know where Wickham is, but there's one coming up there, I think in May. There's one in June back in Portsmouth again that I can't make, and then there's one in October, which I'm definitely going to do, mainly because I really enjoyed it. So that's it pretty much. I've told you I'm going to unravel. Going to unravel at Farnham Maltings, not this weekend, coming the weekend after. I can't wait. I've just fingers. I've got everything crossed that the stupid train company doesn't do anything idiotic with engineering works and blooming bus replacement services like they did when I wanted to go to the Socks on the Beach the other weekend. I was furious about it. There's no way I could do a replacement bus service up to Chichester, which is where the train started running again. So yeah, I'm really hoping that nothing goes wrong with the trains and that I can actually go. Can't wait. I love Unravel. That's my favourite yarn show of them all, and I've been to a few. I'm definitely going to buy that sweater quantity. I'm trying to talk myself out of buying a loom. I know. Is it tabby and tweed? They showed me that this like little heddle loom. Is it? I'm not even sure that's the right word. And I really want it, but I mustn't. I haven't got anywhere to put it. I don't know how to use it. It would be an absolutely idiotic idea. I haven't even used the bookmark loom that I bought from them at the last Unravel, so why am I thinking about buying it? I don't know. It's probably really expensive as well. It's probably more money than you should spend on something that's going to just sit in a cupboard, and I don't have cupboard space for it, even with doing the D-stash. I'm not buying one. They are doing a workshop. I'm not buying one. I wish I'd booked the workshop, but then I definitely would have bought one. I'm such an idiot. Right, I'm going to go. I'm going to block that Tiny Tassels shawl. Then hopefully next time I see you, I'm going to be wearing it. Maybe I'll have the hardware jumper done. Don't know. It's probably be at least another 2 weeks before I record. So I hope to see you then. Sorry about the slightly iffy lighting. Hope that didn't bother you too much. But it's been lovely chatting with you. And hopefully see you soon. Bye bye.